In this video, we'll prepare a full cast lineup for Week 11 on the main slate for DraftKings. Hello, everyone. I'm Eric Lee.
And I'm Michael Wiley, and we're the Fantasy Football Consultants. Eric, here we are, ready to go. We usually like, even in DraftKings, to start with running back. Who do you like?
Well, you know what? I hate to bust the bank on the very first player, but I like Saquon Barkley. First of all, let's be clear. I like Saquon Barkley no matter who he plays. He has really proven his detractors wrong. He is the real deal this year. It's been so effective on the ground, in the air, which is so important on DraftKings. He got 35 carries last week. Just incredible. But what makes him so cool is he's going off playing Houston, who is the best team to run against, to the Detroit Lions, who are the second best team to run against. Home favorite, 24.5-point total. Everything is set up perfectly for Barkley. And oh, by the way, of course, he's the goal line carrier too.
Yeah, no, I love it. He is the New York Giants have figured out that the way to win games for them is on the ground, and they're going to continue to do that against the Detroit defense that's atrocious. You know who else is just racking up fantasy points every single week because this is the way that his team wins? He's quite a bit less. I still can't believe where he's priced. It's Ramondre Stevenson is $6,700. Yeah, the Jets defensive line or defense has been pretty tough, or tougher than some. But guess who beat him up just 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, because they're coming off a bye? Ramondre Stevenson. No one has benefited more from their compadre, their counterpart being out, Damian Harris being injured, than Ramondre Stevenson has. Look at the touches he's been giving. Look at the points that he's been getting every game. He's involved in the passing game, which is where he was strong before Damian Harris went down. He's getting the carries, and he's getting the goal line carries. Look what he's done each week. He's rivaling Saquon Barkley in terms of fantasy scoring, and yet he's several $100s less. All right, well, where do you want to go next?
All right, so okay, since I went hog wild with Barkley, and that is the cost of putting Saquon Barkley is you're going to have to find value. And the first value I am going to find is at wide receiver. How often on DraftKings can you get a sub 5,000 wide receiver who's unquestionably the number one receiver on his team? And that is what Garrett Wilson is. Do you know in each of the last 3 games, he has led all Jet wide receivers and tight ends in receptions, in yards, and in DraftKings points. They are going to lean on this young guy, and and you go back and go, wow, what about week 6? Well, that was only when Wilson was really struggling, and I'm talking about Zach Wilson, not Garrett. So, anyways, I like this at a bargain, Michael.
Yeah, so the Wilson companionship is working out now that Zach Wilson has his legs underneath him, knows how he wants to run this game. They're running the ball heavily, even with their one of their backs out, and so that Garrett Wilson is benefiting from that by getting open in the play action. So I got a guy, he's a little more expensive than that to go with him, who's just been basically tearing it up. He played on Monday night, so his pricing perhaps wasn't adjusted by his fantastic game. That's Terry McLaurin. He's just ripping defenses apart. He's so quick. Taylor Heineke has loved getting to him. I know that Carson Wentz may be back this week, but look at the targets this guy's gotten the last 4 games, 8, 9, 11. He's just continuing to be targeted. He's speedster, so he can get downfield, but he's also become a possession receiver. Got to get him in the end zone, but I love this price tag for Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, and he faces a Houston defense that is a pass defense that's terrible. You go, no, they're not terrible. They're 16th. They're only 16th because teams have gotten way up on them and they run the ball more. But man, I like McLaren, clearly the number one target, no matter who is the quarterback on Washington. Michael, is this like gas prices? Are we being fooled by DraftKings? Barkley's 8,900, Wilson is 4,900, McLaren is 5,900. So it appears that they aren't as expensive as they really are. All right, so I am going to pick a guy who is super cheap at $4,300. Paris Campbell is a bargain. Look, folks, this price is being weighted down by his Week 8 and Week 9 performances. That was when Sam Ehlinger was the quarterback of the Colts, and he averaged a little over 6 DraftKings points a game. But in the last 3 games in which Matt Ryan has been the quarterback, he's got 21 DraftKings points. So no one benefits more on this Colts team. A lot of people do benefit, but no one benefits more with Matt Ryan as QB than Paris Campbell. And you get him at $4,300. It's a home game. I think the Colts will be in passing mode against Philadelphia. And I think they will be able to move the ball with Matt Ryan, Michael.
Yeah, no, I think so. He looked pretty good this last week, maybe partly because of who he was going up against, my Raiders. But yeah, I mean, Philadelphia looked pretty bad this Monday night. And so I like it, and we're saving money, and I'm going to save us some money at the quarterback position. With Patrick Mahomes not on the main slate, and Josh Allen, by far should be the most expensive guy because of what he's done week in and week out. Being a little bit bruised up, Cleveland likes to slow the game down with the run. I do think that Buffalo's going to, utilize the run game a little bit this week to save Josh Allen. Lamar Jackson's coming off a bye, and he just has not looked great with his accuracy. I'm going to save us some money. Let's go against the worst pass defense in the league, Daniel Jones, who also likes to do a little bit of work with his legs. Look what he has, he had, I think, against Jacksonville a couple of weeks ago, he had 100 yards rushing. So he continues to use the running game as well. He hasn't necessarily put up the big yards in the passing game. I think that this game will tee itself up to where this $5,700 will look like a nice little bargain for us and allow us to do some other things in some of the other positions.
Yeah, he ticks off all the boxes of what we really would like at a quarterback for a cash game. He's mid-range, which we prefer not to pay up for a quarterback unless we have the extra money, and we don't. And he is a home favorite. I love that. And he's facing a defense. Man, you can't get any better than facing the Lions, which have a bad defense, but have a good offense, which should keep them throwing. So, all right, we cornered the market on all New York Giant offense between Jones and Barkley. All right, let's talk tight end, Michael. What are you going to do there?
Actually, Eric, I'm going to go ahead and let you go with the flex. I can guarantee you a low-cost tight end. So I'm going to let you run with the flex position so that you can spend a few dollars. And then I'll save us some money at the tight end spot.
All right. So, the guy that I want to pick at tight end is not, at flex is not quite in the screen. I actually have to scroll, even though I am going to spend a lot of money. It's at 7,400. It's Joe Mixon. Cincinnati not only relies on the rush attack more without Lamar Chase, but Mixon is being used even more in the passing game. So the entire team is fresh, coming off a bye, facing a weaker than they are Pittsburgh team. So I think game script will be in their favor. I like Mixon. Look, the price 6,500 was absurd 2 weeks ago. They raised it to 7,400. It's no longer absurd, but it's still too cheap. I probably would have paid 8,000 for Mixon this week.
Yeah, no, I mean, coming off a bye, Chase is likely still going to be out. I really like this. We can afford it. We got some horses in this lineup. I really like this lineup. So you didn't leave much for us in flex and defense, but I knew that was going to be the case. Sorry,
tight end and defense.
Yep. So at the tight end spot, a guy who had, his first really tough week since getting out there this last week, but he's going up against my Raiders. It's Greg Dulcich. He's a really speedy tight end with great hands. I like him a lot. Again, Russell Wilson didn't use him like he should have this last week, and it cost him the game. I think they should have used him a little bit more. They're going to use him more this week. He still had 4 targets. He's getting targeted every week. And Las Vegas Raiders are absolutely atrocious against the pass.
And I will also throw in that Jerry Jeudy is coming off an ankle injury. I'm not sure if he is going to play, and if he does, will he be hobbled? Lots of opportunity potentially for Dulcich this week at only 3,800. There's only 2,400 for a defense. But look, if I told you we can get a defense that is home, that has a better record than the team that they are facing, and have averaged eight DraftKings points a week. It is rare to find a defense that is this cheap, that has gotten in 3 of the last 4 weeks 10 or more DraftKings points. Really like the Vikings, given their price this week. All right, that is our cash lineup, but we have a pivot for you. We were not able to make David Montgomery work in this particular lineup, but if you want to go with David Montgomery with the news that Khalil Herbert will be out, so he's got the backfield all to himself this week at only $6,100, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, going up against that atrocious Atlanta defense, I like it. It creates some options at some of the other positions.
Please hit that red subscribe button. We are so close to 10,000 subscribers, and join the family. We'd really appreciate it. Also this week, when available, we will have a FanDuel show where we break down week 10 cash and GPP lineup, as well as a new power rankings show. When those shows are available, they'll be on your screen. Until then, take care, everybody.